This video is all about layering basically. I've been practicing my ideas on layering for the last year or so, and as it's still winter right now, I thought it'd be a good idea to share my kind of system with you. It starts with these merino wool layers, which I bought from Mountain Warehouse. This is the top, long sleeves. I get very warm wearing this. I should not too warm. One thing I do find though is when I'm wearing a fleece on top, I get too hot and I want to take the fleece off. So I tend to wear either this or the fleece as a warm layer. But mainly this is my sort of go-to base layer between autumn and spring. I've also got the bottoms, the trousers, pants, whatever you want to call them, leggings. I bought the zip fly here, but I never actually use that. I just pull them down and go. But these again are really warm and comfortable for this time of year. I'd say they're ideal when it's windy as like extra wind protection. But when it's maybe up to 10 degrees in the winter, which it can be quite mild, I find that it can get too hot wearing these. But for normal sort of thin trousers with these beneath them, yeah, it can be great at this time of year. You can spend a lot more on base layer clothing, especially merino wool, but I'm not really sure if I'd need to. On top of the base layer top, I normally wear a short sleeve t-shirt or sometimes a long sleeve t-shirt like this. Just a simple Mountain Warehouse thing again. Not very expensive, but it helps to keep me insulated. I'm not a big fan of thick layers like I was saying earlier, and to be honest, I never actually wear a fleece outdoors anymore. I've always got a windproof, waterproof layer on the outside. I've got a t-shirt on my base layer. My mid layer comes next, and I used to wear fleeces like this, the micro fleece, but I've recently bought from Craghoppers. It's a compressed light pack away reversible vest. It comes in the stuff bag here. It's not very thick. It's kind of similar to your sort of down insulated clothing, which I'm not really a fan of again because it's quite heavy and, well, not heavy but big. Maybe it's too much. But this, it's quite thin. It's insulated enough. You've got two pockets on the front with zips on them. This is a size small. I have a 38-inch chest, so normally with clothing I wear a medium, but this fits absolutely fine. If I can get my arm around there. Okay. I've worn this recently on two separate walks, one in the Black Mountains as well. It was quite a wet and windy day, and it was great. Just wearing this, I was never cold for any moment. I had the base layer, a t-shirt, and this on top under my waterproof jacket. So this is a really good idea, I think, having a sleeveless top as your mid layer is probably worth thinking about. I do find that wearing a long sleeve shirt sometimes is a bit too much and I get quite hot, sweaty arms. There's a quote actually in the film Batman Begins. I think Liam Neeson's character is talking to Christian Bale's character. I think it's after he's fallen in the lake and he's cold and he's trying to dry off in the fire, and Neeson's character says something like, "Leave your arms alone, look after your body, your arms will look after themselves." I think that's kind of worth thinking about here with layering, because I never get cold arms, you know, unless I'm wearing a t-shirt maybe, but when I've got like one layer on here, it's fine. Now, I bought the vest, it's a compressed light vest. I've since bought the compressed light jackets, which is a similar idea. It comes in a stuff bag. If I can get this out. And there's like a handle on the end so you can just pull the bag away. There we go. So same kind of material, not too thick. This is a size medium. I bought the small and medium to compare them, but I found the arms on the small one were just a bit too short and quite restrictive around here, so I sent that back and kept the medium size, which is again fine around the middle. So it's thin insulation, not like a down jacket. It's certainly warm enough, it packs away well, and I can wear it on a dry day. It's not waterproof, it's water resistant, and there are no zips underneath the arms, so I'm not sure about wearing it on a long walk, but for very cold days it's probably worth having. The main reason I brought this, actually, it goes back to my some training I had back in November. I did a navigation course in Brecon Beacons, and the course leader there, who was a mountain leader, recommends that we carry an extra layer in our backpack so that when you stop for lunch you can just pull the layer on over everything else and just keep warm, basically, because when you stop your body starts to cool down and you start to get cold. Even with 3 or 4 layers on, it will happen. But having this as your backup, your kind of warm layer, it's a really good idea, actually. I'm going to try and practice that on future walks. So there's that one. But generally, without the there's no kind of ventilation here, so I'm worried that it would be too hot to wear on a big sort of mountain hike or something. I do like this jacket. And again, with down jackets, they're quite bulky and thick, and you can buy cheap ones, expensive ones, but I just look at them and think, I live in North Somerset by the Mendip Hills, and I'm not going to the Alps right now. I don't need the massive insulation and all the... No, I don't see why I would need that right now. My windproof, waterproof layer on the outer is a thin jacket made by Valda in Germany. This is over a year old. Windproof, waterproof. Yeah, I like it. It's very thin, lightweight, packs down quite small, and works well in my system. One thing I had done with this is on the underarm zips for ventilation, I've added these red zip pulls, because trying to find these zips under here when you've got gloves on is just a real pain. This makes it a lot easier to close them up when you stop and you're getting cold, or open them when you're getting warm and you're going uphill. Now, part of staying warm involves looking after your extremities, so I tend to wear 2 layers of gloves and 2 layers of socks as well. With the socks, I bought these liner socks only 6 months ago, maybe because I'm getting blisters in the summer, but they're great in the winter as well. I wear these, they're really thin, made by Bridgedale, and on top of those I just wear a thin pair of socks. Again, Bridgedale, they don't have to be. I'm not really a fan of thick socks because I find they get too hot, and the extra heat there can lead to blisters, and that's never a good thing. But yeah, 2 layers works well for me. Under my boots, on the gloves, well, these are my go-to gloves. They're made by Rab, but they're not too expensive. The only Rab item I own, I'm pleased to say. They fit nicely, they're very comfortable. I wear them all year round when I need to, but in the winter I sometimes add a thermal liner glove, like these here. These are made from silk, I believe. They're called silk, and it's not like a kind of feminine silk or anything like that, but they're very thin and they do add some warmth. I've also bought these were £10 on Amazon. I also bought merino wool gloves from the same company. Can't find it, there it is. Yeah, these are slightly warmer than the silk ones. Again, they're a snug fit, a thin glove. The idea being you can wear them beneath another pair of gloves like this. I get the right hand, that is. And they go on easily, and they just add to the thermal properties, really, make it warmer. And I've also got some waterproof gloves from Sealskins. These were only about £35. I bought them 3 or 4 years ago. They're still waterproof. The one thing I do find that when my hands are damp, it's very hard to get them on and in here comfortably. So it gets quite a lot of friction inside with the water. I also find they're not very warm on their own like this. And again, during the navigation course in November, the course leader said, try and buy some silk gloves like this, the liner gloves. And doing that makes a huge difference, so I can get these on easily, even with like wet hands and it's cold. And my hands stay warm inside. So it's brilliant. That's currently what I use. One other item I use that's worth considering is a buff. It's basically a very versatile piece of equipment. You can wear it as a kind of neck fleece gaiter. You can wear it as a beanie hat, a balaclava, a headband. These are really great. This is merino wool again. It's very thin, but oh, it's great. I love this thing. I wear it sort of most of the year as well. And of course there are hats. This is a Sealskin's waterproof hat. It is waterproof despite the fact that it's made from some kind of material. Yeah, it's quite a snug fit for a beanie hat, but I have a large head as well, so that's worth considering, but it does keep the wind off. It does its job, serves its purpose. I also carry a spare hat along with spare gloves, so that when one gets wet I can take it off, put it to one side and put the dry ones on. That's my thinking. And so for all the items here, I'm going to leave links in the description to each one, which you can follow to have a look at yourself. Any questions you have, please let me know in the comments section. Thanks for watching this video. I do hope it's been useful and you find it interesting. Please subscribe and I'll see you again soon.